This is Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm. Kind of a cold Christmas day morning, and I just want to talk about Monstera and Philodendron and I guess Anthuriums, because it seems to be what I'm interested in at the moment, because I like to get bored when I just look at just fruit trees or just Heliconia or just gingers. So I try to search out other plants that I like and I fall in love with. And one of them was Monstera, because it's so easy to grow here. You just plant it in the ground and it's starts fruiting within 5 years, at least for us. And we grow everything the same way. So these are all organically grown, basically house plants, which I'm gonna plant in the ground. And this is Philodendron tenue. This is Philodendron pastazanum silver. This is Philodendron Gloriosum. This is Philodendron Brandyadium or something like that. This is Bilite Philodendron. Philodendron Gloriosum. Philodendron micans. Philodendron gigas. Philodendron pink princess. Philodendron Prisa Verde, Philodendron Painted Lady, Philodendron Giganteum Blizzard, and this is a node of Philodendron Burley Marks Variegata. And so everything gets started just like we do our tropical fruit trees or any other plant that I want to grow in a pot. We have to use biodynamic compost because we're biodynamic certified, and they make you make your own compost and you have to grow all your plants in it. So I'm so glad that I became biodynamic certified, because it kind of made me learn how to grow better. And I'm glad I have that certification. It was hard to get. It is hard to get. We had our organic certification, and it was very easy and good. No issues. Again, we never have any issues, which is nice. They said my manure program is perfectly perfect and doesn't need to be changed at all. So you just have to know how to manage it. And what it comes down to for cows, when you're using manures and stuff, is it's how the cows are raised. So anyway, we make compost out of it. We plant our plants into the compost, and they all do great. We have I started getting a couple of Anthuriums. I planted some out in the yard, and then, because these are all to plant out into the orchard floor along the path. So this is Anthurium magnificum. This is Anthurium crystallinum. I love them. They're the plants are beautiful. And this is Monstera. So what started me off was last Christmas. I had planted a Monstera, one, from a gallon pot into the ground underneath a tree that's now covered in fruit. And the fruit takes a year to ripen. So they're halfway along. So I thought, well, they're so easy to grow here. So I kicked myself for never buying a Monstera deliciosa Alba is what they're called. The variegated one. And kicked myself because they were not that expensive, but then they got really expensive. All these houseplants are really, really, really ridiculously expensive. That's why I have tiny ones. So I treated myself to this variegated Monstera Delicia Alba or Alba, but it was just a node cutting, so it's just a piece of the stem, like from here to here, like of that. And the variegation is finally coming out on it. So it's variegated. This is Philodendron Gloriosum, and it's doing very good outside. I had a lot of these plants planted out in the ground because that's what they're for. That's Philodendron silverate. What is it? It's the silver one. Hirsatum? I forgot. That's Philodendron Brazil. Hirsatum, what is it? Anyways, the silver sword is what the common name is. So to plant out here, but I had some Monstera oblique, or no, Monstera Adansonii, that the rabbits started eating all the leaves on, and it got me all freaked out. And so I transplanted those plants into the house. I left this stuff here, and I got this Philodendron Gloriosum that's coming up with a node. Oh, nodes are like scary. So yeah, I bought that one node last Christmas for myself and didn't tell anybody, and it's doing good, but it's a fruiting plant, so I can sell the fruit off of it. And I guess I can sell the node cuttings, or the cuttings from the plants. So this is our Heliconias that I've been like dividing, and then I put some manure where I've removed the plant. So I'm gonna go look at that. It's so beautiful here. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is. The air smells very good. I went vegan over the holidays and I feel great. I was vegetarian before, but it wasn't working. I could eat all kinds of stuff when I was younger, but now that I'm getting a little bit older, it's like I can't eat certain things. And I think drinking all those teas has like forced me to like eat better. You know, the fruit leaf teas. Pigeon peas are doing very well. So I believe this entire system is managed by the fungi in the soil and in the plants, because that's what the fungi do. They're like the veins of the plants in the soil, and they transport water and microbiology to the plant roots zone. The rhizosphere. Look at this Monstera. I think it's going to be ready in about May, but we got quite a bit of it. The leaves are so incredible. This didn't even mind 31 degrees last year. It was a record cold for us. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, knock on wood. But yeah, there's a bunch of fruit. Look at that. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Looks like just 3 portions of it fruited. But I took a bunch of cuttings off this because it's very big. You can see where I took them, the node cuttings, but of a large plant. And just plant it in other areas. I need to do that some more. So I don't see that the house plants will have any problem doing the same thing and like growing up these huge trees. So I guess the ancient trees are very important for the health of people and ecosystems. We've really done a horrible job protecting the ancient trees and respecting them. It's very depressing. I haven't really been focusing on anything like that because I just wanted to stay in my happy place with my new obsession of hoarding tropical houseplants. But same issues are still out there, and it's just humans have a disinterest in feeling personally obligated to protect the environment. These tropical houseplants, they just like nonchalantly talk about using fungicides. They don't say which ones, but it's like all of them do that, and they grow in like pond, and it's like none of them grow naturally, organically. And in Florida, they all grow really good that way. So it's just like, I don't know. It's bizarre. Bizarre that we think that we can develop a better way to grow plants than nature. The whole disconnect between growers, people that grow plants, and nature's growing plants. And we gotta like bring those two systems together, and it has to more closely resemble nature. Got to put nature back into the system. Otherwise, because what we do is we destroy systems. That's kind of what we do with our current form of growing. Even the regenerative people, they like totally control everything. And then I try to say it's a regenerative. The only way it could be regenerative is if you have nature in it. We disrespect nature today because we think we know a better way. It's bizarre. See the steam coming off the banana leaves. That's cool. Let's see if I can get that. Nope. Maybe from over here. Yeah. So leaves that are like waxier seem to get more water on their surface at night, as opposed to something that was like like a feathery type leaf. The Heliconias, they like get covered in moisture, but then a thinner leaf, like a Brugmansia leaf, doesn't have any moisture on it. And certainly, if the fungi is like transporting the water through the soil, to the tree and growing inside the tree, if it's growing inside and outside the tree, it's got to be doing that on all the leaf surfaces. And fungi has a more is more prone to be forming a relationship with waxy leafed plants than non-waxy leaf plants. So, probably because it plumps things up, plumps the soil up. And we've like completely trounced on all our soil and driven over it and dissed it up and destroyed all these natural fungal pathways to transport water from our control of the system and not leaving it alone. It's very bizarre that I can grow all these different plants because everything gets grown the same way. Every plant gets grown the same way. Just that some like more shade and some like can take more standing water. But there's no different way of growing, though some plants like Tamarillo, I notice, like to be fed a lot of manure to keep the fungi away. I don't know. People get scared of using manure. I blame that on the colleges and the USDA. Just gonna break those off, but I guess I can't scatter them around. Trying to get some manure between every sugar apple tree, but before they start blooming, I probably have time to do it. So 50 pounds of manure a day between the sugar apples. There's no mangoes near them, so I don't have to worry about it. That's the whole thing. You have to, with manure, you have to, every input we use is done 120-day rule. So you can do an input, any input we have, but you have to wait 120 days before harvesting. In tropical fruits, it's pretty easy because they take a while to ripen. Yeah, the ancient trees, the old trees hold the old information. Catch the most water, shove the most carbon into the ground. I'm just shocked that people chop down big trees. These are all Heliconias I just planted in bananas. That's why they look nasty. You know, I've never watered them, but I just divided them, the little pups. This is turmeric. Of course, it's going to look nasty in the winter, but I just put these in there, that banana and those Heliconias. So those are all the leaves that I chopped off so it wouldn't blow over. I used to cut the tops of those off because they were easier to transport, but they seem to do great with the tops cut on. You just got to make sure the wind can't blow them over. It's all these little bananas I just put in. I see a cashew is right here. Bananas. This area is finally getting to be better. This was like one of the worst spots. I mean, look at how short that grass is after 3 years of not mowing it. One little tiny short herb. Because it was compacted. Compacted lawn. Our greens are looking pretty. They're so beautiful. Finally, we're getting enough to, because I'm not watering any of these. I just put them there and walk away, and it's been kind of a drought-like lately. So. Anyway, this is Frog Valley Tropical Fruit Farm, and I just felt like I needed to do a video, last one of the year. Hope everyone had a great holiday. Thanks for tuning in, and take care of the planet.